The views expressed in this video are of our guests alone. This interview is not confirmation of any of their allegations. These are opinions. Any name mentioned here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I am back with Jaguar Wright, and so many of you wanted me to ask her about certain celebrities. Let's hear her thoughts. Welcome to Popcorn Planet's The Interview. I'm here with part 3 of our exclusive interview with Jaguar Wright. Welcome back, Jaguar. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
I've had so many of my fans, when they heard you're coming on, they're like, oh my God, please ask about this. Please ask about that. People want to hear your opinions on things. Again, these are her opinions. These are theories. These are hers. Legally, I got to protect myself. You get it.
Please
I appreciate you. You get it. You're not mad at me. So the audience gets so mad when I try to do, I'll start here. I made the choice of bleeping some of these names on these tapes of people who were, being exposed, because from what I've heard, and we could talk off the record later, but from what I've heard, some of these people didn't know, or maybe weren't fully aware of what was happening. And so for me, it's like, if they might be victims, I don't want to out them. It's really their call to sort of out whether they want to be exposed as being taken advantage of by Diddy against their, do you share that opinion? Because there's so many people who just want names. Tell us who at all costs. What is your sort of reaction to that?
The thing is this, if you're going to ask for the names, that's one thing. But what are you going to do to help those people once those names have been released? There's some information that some people definitely want to take to their grave. And there's some information that some people want to make sure others take to their grave. When I think about Aaron Carter, everyone knew what was going on. We got to stop being salacious about names, because the names aren't changing anything. You could give 1,000 names. Why isn't Diddy in jail yet? For good. Why isn't he a convicted, whatever he is, demon, and off to jail? There should be, you know what I mean? There needs to.
Well,
I understand why people want to know.
Well, and if they're
doing, people should know, because they've invested in a lot of these fairy tale stories, and they believe that everything was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if someone's doing criminal behavior, Diddy-like behavior, and complicit to it, I say name them. I don't care at that point, because we should expose the bad guys, right? But some of these people, if they're victims, exactly like you said, it's not our place to do it. So in that honor, let's go through some names, because I want you to tell me villain, hero, if they're victims, absolutely. I don't want to know if they're on tapes per se, but if you can sort of give me your opinion on, are these good cats, bad cats, okay. any rumors you've heard? I want to start with JLo. JLo's been in the mix for a while. She claims, oh, Diddy cheated on me. I didn't really know what was going on. Do you think JLo was complicit in what was actually going down? And her silence is telling of that.
Well, as far as one instance is concerned, I know she's complicit. I have a new friend in my life. Her name is Natanya Rubin.
For those that don't know, she was the one who got hit in the shooting. Correct. So she's saying otherwise?
Oh no, she's saying that JLo was there and that she knows everything that happened. So for JLo and everyone else to be able to say that it was Shine that did it when they know it wasn't, that means that's perjury. See? Then there's also the rumor that got covered up very quick on why she didn't testify at the trial on Diddy's behalf, or anyone's behalf for that matter. Rumor has it they got secretly married, so she didn't have to testify. And then they annulled it, and then she ran off.
Allegedly. But that would be interesting. That would be an interesting thing to do. That could help. So her silence now, do you think she is just afraid? Do you think she's just sort of
terrified? She's terrified.
Should she speak out though if she's complicit? That's an interesting question of maybe not as heavily involved. What would you advise JLo to do?
She should have spoke up over 20. See, this is the problem that I have with women like JLo, with women like Mary J. Blige, with trash pots like your Sexy Reds and your Young Miamis. All of these women know exactly what was happening. All of these women knew exactly what kind of monster he is. All of these women witnessed him be terrible to not just them, but to other women, and let that operate for decades. Cassie wasn't the first woman to feel Diddy's feet on her body. You can go and ask, oh goodness, Justin's mom. Jean told the story about how Diddy was so hot to that he was kicking her and she had to run underneath, climb under a car like an alley cat. None of this is new. And every woman who knew what he was capable of and watched him get richer and richer and more powerful and benefited from that money and benefited from that power are just as guilty as he is. They are all, in the least, accessories after the fact. Mary J. Blige most, because she's been there since the very beginning. And all of that business with her and Danny Boy, she was over her mid-20s. She was pushing, 26 when she was having an illicit, intimate, physical engagement with Danny Boy, who was signed to Death Row Records, and he was 15, 16 years old. He even said in his own interviews, Mary J. Blige herself, not Diddy, flew him from California to New York to be with her. And allegedly, one of those tapes that Courtney Burgess say that he never saw, yet had possession of, was a threesome with Diddy, a very 16-year-old and a very 26-year-old Mary J. Blige.
I'm gonna have to bleep the minor. Apologies, guys. Legally, that's what I've been told to do. That's her opinion, her theories. I want to go through some of more of these names. Ashton Kutcher, he's out there seemingly trying to I'm not involved, whatever. Now they're saying
dumb.
So what is your opinion?
Justice for Brittany Murphy. That's my opinion.
Ooh, there's a lot of theories about Brittany Murphy.
And justice for Bruce Willis's daughter. All of them. Allegedly.
All right. What about Leonardo DiCaprio? We had a guy on who knew Leo from back in the day and said not so nice things about Leonardo. Leo's been at the parties. He's denied it. Did you ever have any bad experiences with Leonardo?
I've only seen Leonardo in passing from time to time. And I'm going to be very honest, it wasn't in social circles. I met him at a sex dungeon.
Oh, geez. Allegedly? Or that you're
I
owning
was
this?
I was working.
Jesus.
I used to be a dominatrix.
I did know that about you. I heard that, yes.
He loves pain. You'd be surprised the kind of joy come out of a man when you just grip his...
Hey, let's not kink shame. I mean, how about illegal activity? Was there any illegal activity?
I'm going to tell you something right now. If y'all think that the Wolf of Wall Street was method acting,
wow.
If you forgot, go back and watch one of his earlier films, Basketball Diaries. His ability to get in the mind of a junkie was fascinating.
So a villain in your mind?
Well, I know. I just think he is one of the very unfortunate child stars.
It's true. That happens to a lot of them. It's hard to, yeah.
Used up. Leonardo is a brilliant actor. He's wonderful. I've been a fan of his work. But the truth is, the reason why he plays such a good villain is because he's had plenty of practice in real life. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with his very unconventional mentoring relationship with Jack Nicholson. Or, I mean, the truth is Diddy parties were happening before Diddy. They used to be called Playboy parties.
That's starting to come out as well. All right. Kevin Hart, hero or villain?
Chump.
Chump. So bad.
He's a chump and he's a slut. And he's a shame. He's almost as big a shame to Philadelphia as Will Smith.
He was going to be on my list. So Will Smith, both of them. You're not fans.
What he's done to children? What he's done to children, and he was allowed to get away with it.
Wait, which one are we talking about? Allegedly.
Will Smith. Ain't no crime in being fondled by a big man if that's what you want, Kevin. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's why I was upset with that transgender person when she was trying to blackmail him for $250K because she said he was caught with a woman. And I'm like, well, that's nothing juicy. Why don't you ask him about some of his trips down to Catalina with Will Smith?
Are you team Jada then? Because a lot of people, I haven't been a fan of Jada.
She's an accomplice. She's one of those weird, she's no different than that Gabrielle Union.
You don't think she's pulling the strings on Will?
Oh, I know she's pulling the strings on Will. I just wish everybody would finally admit that this is a witch's coven that's gone off the rails. These are witches.
All right, I got another one for you. Harry and Meghan. You've teased them. Did you see him on tapes or something? I don't know. Someone said, my friend Steph the Alternate wanted me to ask. She covers the royals. I do too. They've been involved
in some interesting parties, allegedly.
The Meghan and Harry?
Yeah. In Ibiza. They had some fun.
Allegedly. This is allegedly. Wow.
But, I was surprised when they moved to the United States and they moved into Tyler Perry's house. And then they became very friendly with Oprah.
Well, I'm going to go there. But before we get there, they're moving to Lisbon now. They just moved to Portugal. They just bought a house out there, these two.
That could be lovely for them. And I think they should. I mean, the truth is when I look at the two of them, I like their love story together. I like what they're building together, but they're both victims. They're victims.
We'll have to fight on that another day.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll bring you on the Palace channel. I'll make sure you know everything about that.
I mean,
Harry. They've had some issues, but I think they love to be the victims. They love to be the victims.
You know what? I think they love to be the victims because that's probably the easiest place for them to exist.
Well, that's true. That's true.
They actually are. It's just that everyone makes, oh, look at you, oh, the prince and the princess crying and complaining. But people keep forgetting everything that Harry went through and the emotional turmoil he went through after his mother's passing and how it was monetized. And, of the two boys, he has Diana's heart. You can see it in him. And I know if she's alive, if she was still alive, she would love that Meghan.
Oh, the black girl. Now we need to have a fight, Jaguar.
I think she would love Meghan.
Oh, I will save that fight for another time because I really want to get your thoughts on Oprah.
Devil. Demon. Destroyer.
So villain, not a hero like many people see her. You think she's a villain?
She's a super villain. She's the biggest villain in the world. And yet, nobody will ask the most obvious question in the world. Why is her and Gail getting married? It's clear she don't want to marry Stedman. Why don't her and Gail get married? Now, she went on that Ozempic. It put her in the hospital. She almost diarrheaed herself to death. Stedman wasn't there at the hospital. Gail was. Crying for her friend. What's wrong with y'all people? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I wish she would just come out the closet. Like she's really taking this, don't ask, don't tell too far. And she ain't never been in the military.
Well, she is a snake. Like there's no bigger snake than Oprah. Because I cover Michael Jackson. I'm curious your thought. I believe Michael Jackson's actually innocent. I've been doing a whole documentary.
Oh no, Michael Jackson is innocent. They targeted him. And for her to play in his face while he was alive, those boys to discredit him, and then her to bring it back right after he passed away. The way she did Luther Vandross when he passed away. The way she just, exploited him laying in that bed. The way she did, the way she does the way she's doing Taraji P. Henson. I think she should be tried in the court of public opinion for what she's doing to Port Fantasia. It's sad.
Speaking of all those nice hosts, Ellen, that moment where she tried to help Diddy, help Chris Brown and yada, 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 and then gave him the that gross nickname that was found on Twitter. Yikes. What are your thoughts on Ellen? Do you think misunderstood hero or is she a villain?
Degenerate. And not because she's lesbian, because I'm bisexual. I remember that Ellen episode. It was very groundbreaking, and I hated the way they shamed her. I hated the way they shamed her, but she did what everybody else does. She conformed. And, you know, Ellen has her own proclivities, but right now, I'm on, I hate Ellen over Twitch. Like, I'm never going to get over Twitch. I'm never going to get over the fact that even in this new special that she did, pretty much telling everybody to kiss her ass and love her because she made nice look cool, even though she's a bitch. Like, I'm mad that there was no acknowledgement or even honoring Twitch. Like, I don't know if anyone has noticed. She's pretty much acted like Twitch never happened.
It's tragic what happened to Twitch.
I don't understand how Harvey Leviathan was able to get to the scene of the incident so quickly, because it was supposed to be an ooey idol, right? Last time I checked, you know, people don't text TMZ and say, hey, I'm about to unalive myself. Can you be here?
Man, it is fascinating to talk to you. I love this hero villain game. We need to have you back and go through more lists. Guys, if you want Jaguar Wright back, make sure you tell her. Go send her some love over on Cash App. Say, we saw the interview. You were amazing, because she deserves your support as well. You can find her on Cash App, #JagsBread2. It's on screen right there. Show her some love. Tell her you saw her here and you want her back. I'd love to have you back. Legally, she said all that, not me.
Alex, just call me. Alex, don't listen to me. Save yourself some time. Don't call Andy like you called Oliver and Piers. Just call me.
Yeah, Alex seems pretty intense. I gotta be honest.
Don't be afraid. Come to me.
Woo! Oh man, beautiful. That was. See, you're not scary. I love you. I don't want beef with you. Everyone's like, oh, you gotta. She's great. You just gotta be nice to her. I love you. I appreciate you.
To be nice, just be human, dude. Yeah. Like, a lot of people are just weird, and I keep trying to tell people how it works. You get what you give with me. Whatever energy I experience from you is what I'm going to give you in return. But what I will say is this: when I'm quiet, that's when you should really be worried, because that means I'm thinking.
I'm going to keep talking to you always then. See, I'm just going to keep talking. I don't want no beefs with Jaguar Wright. She's a real one. And for real, I appreciate, look, a lot of people don't agree with you. You know this. You don't seem to care. And I appreciate that about you. But you stand up for the victims. That's what our audience is about. That's what we're about. And I'm glad you're speaking out.
A lot of people didn't agree with Albert Einstein. A lot of people didn't agree with Martin Luther King. A lot of people didn't agree with Angela Davis or Gloria Steinem. You know, a lot of people didn't agree. How you know you're real is when you can stand in the face of absolute disagreement and not be moved or swayed.
I appreciate you. You're amazing. Go support her. You can find her on Cash App. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe here. Hit the bell for alerts so you get notified. Smash that like button as well and leave your comments. And if you want her back, send her some love. She's also over on Instagram. You can find her there. Here it is at Jaguar Wright. You can find ways to support her, her music, and everything else. Not just, you know, she's a musician, guys. She's a very talented artist. Go support her. Give her a follow. Appreciate you coming here. Lovely conversation. Hope we can do it again. Welcome anytime. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Let us know what you thought down below. And again, what she said was her opinion. Don't sue me.
Call me, Alex. Alex, call me.